That's right. So get it all comfy. There you go. Awesome. So we start with the breath. So I encourage you to breathe in through your feet, grounding you to the earth. And as you breathe in, when you've breathed in all you can breathe in, hold it for just a bit. And then when you're ready, exhale. And as you've exhaled all that you can, hold it for just a bit. We're going to do 3 more deep breaths just with your own timing, but between each inhale and exhale, you hold. So. And now, taking your hands up to the top of your head, using your fingers, lightly tap. Tappy, 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 tappy. Tappy, 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 tappy. Does this work or is it too backlit?
No, it's awesome. I can see you perfectly.
Perfect. Okay, so tappy, tappy, tappy. So we're tapping our face and our head. Make sure you get your ears and behind your ears and the back of your head. All those places. Tappy, 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 tappy. On your chin. Any little places you found that haven't been tapped. And then you get to your neck. And tappy, 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 tappies. And tappy down your arms and your shoulders. So I like to tap on one side first so I can really pay attention. And up my shoulder and then back down that arm. Up and make sure I've gotten all kind of, there's like, I see it like there's 4 sides to our arms.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get them all well tapped, and then you can switch to the other side. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Tappy, tappy, tappies. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. There we go. Lovely tappy, 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 tappies. And when you get your arms really all tapped, and make sure you get across the back of your shoulders. I wish I was there to do this part for you, but the back of your shoulders and across the front of your shoulder grid. And then we're going to go down our side, underneath our arm. Oh, there you go. You're still getting your back. Good job. That's what I like. Someone who knows how to take care. Excellent, excellent. Ooh, you're getting the middle of your back, aren't you?
Yep.
Look at that. And then the down under
I'm
your
fairly thorough with things.
Yeah, so you got under your arms really good. That's because your lymphs are under here, and your lymphs can't move things unless you move it for them. So we do that by movement or massage. The lymphs are important. That's where all our immune system's living.
Oh, lymph. I thought you said lips. Couldn't figure out how my lips were under my arms.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yes, your lips are under your arms and under your boobs and into all those areas. So you're there home alone in your house. So get your boobs really good because the lymph all around your breasts is really an important area to get well massaged. And I mean, we're still theoretically tapping, but I've gone into squeezing because for when it comes to lymph, I can't think of anything else. And then once you've given them a good squeeze, give them a nice tap. Tap, 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 tap. And then we tap down our bellies, our opu, into our creation parts.
Ooh, creation parts. Nice euphemism there.
You like that?
Delightful.
Because it works for everyone, no matter what your selection of gender thing might be.
That's very, very true.
Because, we have people who are all kinds of things these days. And there always have been, but now we acknowledge it in our language.
Right.
And then down our legs. Again, do one leg at a time so that you really give it good attention. And I kind of have a tendency to do one whole section of the leg around really well, but you can also just go down the front side all the way and then go back up the back side and then do the sides. But as long as you get the leg really good. And then switch to the other leg. Then when you've got your legs really good, tap your feet. See if you can get to the bottom of your foot. You're welcome to hold on to something if you need to do that. Okay, then come to the top of your head again, and we're going to do a scratchy. Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. Don't hurt yourself now, but scratch thoroughly and delightfully. Well, we always want to say don't break the skin. We don't want to be that enthusiastic, but just scratchy. And so this is faster than the tappy. We're going to scratch everything and to really wake it up. Wake up, little skin proprioceptors. Wake up. And let's see. All right. Scratchy, scratchy, scratchies. So you got your shoulders good, your arms. I can see you're doing a great job on your arms, your chest. Oh, part of my face said, I forgot it. I'm going back up there for a moment. So pay attention. If your body starts saying, oh, wait, what about here? You are welcome to go backwards. You don't have to keep going down. If your body says to go back up, go back up.
That's good to know.
It's good to know. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just a pattern. And then, again, I wish I was there to scratch your back in so many ways. But it looks like you got a good reach there.
I do. I got long arms.
I can too. I become flexible doing this, so I can actually reach my whole back. But it's not as much fun as having someone else do it, but
very true.
But it's good. So then we scratch our legs, and don't forget the creation parts, which again, be careful.
Yeah, really.
And you can do between your legs. It's okay. And then as you finish up scratching on your feet, switch to squeezing. So
from the bottom up or from the top?
From the bottom up.
Okay.
Squeeze. You do a nice forward bend, which is hard for me, so I do this by lifting my feet up. But
cool.
a good forward bend is a great thing to be able to do if your back can support that.
Yep.
You get your circulation moving in wonderful ways, but
Yep.
I can't, so I do it the other way. And they're all good. However you can do it is good. Doing it is the important part.
Right.
Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And when you get to the creation parts in particular, that whole area, really squeeze them. Squeeze your backside really well, all the way around. Your popo and your opu and your pico. Ooh! And just squeeze them all. Squeezing is the first sensation you get when you're born. You're squeezed out of the vagina if you were lucky. And if not, they swaddled you right away to give you that squeezing sensation. And again, this makes everything move.
Yep. I got pulled out.
You got pulled out.
Yep.
But through a vagina? But through a vagina, not cesarean?
Not cesarean, no. I was a forceps baby.
Yeah, but you still got squeezed really good then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got squeezed really good. Well, it makes a difference for your full life development, whether or not you were born vaginally. So.
Right.
Oh. And when you get to your face and your neck, really squeeze them well. I know this may be really awkward now that you've done your feet, but oh well.
Yeah. I haven't showered yet today. It's fine.
Oh, good. Good, you're getting your arms really well. When you do your arms with the squeezing, make sure you also get your wrists and your hands. And with your hands, I want you to really, when you get to your hands, really squeeze down your fingers. So that when you get to it, I'm just showing you so you know what it looks like. And especially from the palm of your hand out, this will help with carpal tunnel.
Oh, okay.
And trigger fingers.
Yeah.
So this helps prevent them. And then same with your wrist. You know, really flexy your wrist. But with a squeeze. Don't just let it flex. Really squeeze it. This will help the tendons and ligaments be protected while you do that motion, which is really important.
Sorry, my heater wasn't oscillating appropriately. It was like right on me.
Being comfortable and taking care of yourself are the primary things here. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this is all about. I'm so happy that you're doing this with me because I do it way more thoroughly with someone else than I would do it by myself. So.
I'm happy I'm doing this with you because it's awesome and because I need this and because I love the connection time with you. I'm really good at disconnecting, so.
Me too. One of my favorite things. Especially when I've come home for a trip and I've been gone and people don't know if I'm back or not. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yesterday?
Yeah.
Remember the client that I told you about that I have who's like really, really young, and I helped her get her eyeglasses, and she's in, she's got a place to live now and all that?
Mm-hmm.
She called me yesterday to let me know she got a full-time job.
All right.
Yeah. It's her first job that isn't stripping.
Mm.
So I'm super excited for her.
Oh, that's awesome.
So proud of her.
Mark Freund is trying to start a program. He works with a program called Clear or Clara. I can't remember. But it, basically helping people who are, struggling with addiction, etc., get up off the streets, but then they don't they don't have the next step, the step that you're doing.
Right.
So if you ever feel like chatting with him about the stuff that you do, he was really interested when I talked to him about what you were doing.
I'd be happy to, because the other thing that I found out yesterday is that I lose my mentoring job at the end of this month.
Oh.
So I am looking for other opportunities right now, and I want to continue in the same vein, because I love the work.
Why do you lose the job?
Well, two things. Number one, this job was based on a grant that has now run out. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that it sounds like the backers for the company have decided that while the concept is good and while we got good success, we're just not getting enough interest from the work agencies to keep the company together. So it sounds like they're actually shutting down the whole company just because it's not bringing in the kind of revenue or interest that they were hoping it would.
So it's money. Well, too bad. Well, so now you're going to wipe down everything, just swiping down. So so it might be an interesting transition. I don't know what they're planning to do or how they're planning to do it, and if they're planning to pay people or if they're doing it with volunteers. I don't know, but but they're into raising money, so that's a big part of what they're doing right now that Mark's a part of. So
well, and I'm always happy to help consult in whatever way, because I've done so much of this work that it's easy for me to come in and do bits and parts and advise.
So I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see how far you're getting on the wiping. Now let's see here.
On my boobs.
All right, she wipes the boobs, wiping everything down, and this kind of wipes off anything that you may have picked up that you don't need.
Yes.
And get rid of it.
Yeah.
Just letting go, mind, body, spirit. Just let it go.
Yep. I spent a day yesterday being really overwhelmed by life, and then decided this morning that, that's just not helpful.
It isn't, but it sometimes. So I'm doing this meditation group right now, and they talk about primary and secondary emotions. And so one of the things they talk about is like when you're anxious, that's a secondary emotion. The primary emotion is fear. Right. And so to look at what are you fearful of? And then go to that fear, indulge in the fear, and then kind of readjust your view.
Yeah. That's actually what I wound up doing.
Yeah, it sounds like what you were doing.
Yeah.
That's what reminded me of it. It's like, oh. But to me, going to the primary, the deep emotion was not something I was doing much of, and so
yeah.
I didn't ask what I guess the primary emotion of grief is probably fear of loss or I don't know what the primary emotion is. I didn't ask. I'll have to ask that.
Yeah.
Because it's run by a psychologist, this meditation group. So it's
Neat.
very interesting. Yeah, we do a 2-hour session once a week where we talk for about an hour and 15 minutes and discuss stuff, and we have a bunch of readings we need to do and practices that we do during the week, and then we meditate together with for about 45 minutes. Pretty neat. Very neat. All right, now we're doing the spine. So the spine goes, all the way from here to here, and we want to wiggle it. As much as you can wiggle your spine, all of those places. And again, this is to let go of any tensions and things that may be settling in your body. So wiggle, 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 and then pause and do a body scan. Coming from your bottom up, just starting at your feet, just see what you feel. Just note it, don't judge it, don't label it, don't say, oh, that's pain, oh, that's delightful. Whatever it is, just notice it as a body sensation and come up through your whole body, your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your creation parts, your pico, your lower back, your mid-back, your thoracic spine, the front of your thoracic spine, the back of your thoracic spine, coming up to your cervical spine, to your neck and your head. Just feel it all. Feel and sink into it and wiggle it. And now starting from your cervical spine, take your head and move it in a way that makes your cervical spine or your neck and your head feel really fun and nice. So I like to do little figure 8s that are an 8 in front of me like this. And then you could do a figure 8 that goes around the other way. If you can, I can't really do that because of limitations in my neck. But if you can. And now you had a natural tendency to go one direction first and then the other. So now go the other way. And then the same with this. So you had it, I naturally go this way first. And so I'm going to go the other way, which feels really weird. You may have little snap, crackles, and pops. It's completely normal if you do. And if not, God bless you. And then take your head and turn as far as you can to the left so that it's comfortable. Keeping your body front, if you can, pretty stable, just moving your head. And then very slowly come back to center. And then going the other direction. Just as far as is comfortable. And then very slowly coming back to center. And then bringing your hands in front of your face when you get to center. Look at your hands. This is to help your eyes. And so
my hands are really blurry.
There you go. Mine are not right now because I have my glasses on, but without them they would be. And then bring your hands out as far as they stretch. Then look, leaving your hands there, look beyond your hands at something, maybe the wall, maybe out a window, however, as far as you can look. And then come back to your hands that are at your mid-range. And then bringing your hands into your face. Then take your hands and put them in your prayer position. And move your hands to one side, keeping your head forward, watching your hands go to the side. See how far they can go before you lose the sight of them. And then bring it back to center. And then to the other side. And you could twist your body a little bit. If you can, move your body further than your vision goes. But you're still looking straight ahead. So like I can twist on one side and see much further than I can on the other today, at this moment. And that can change. And then bring it back to center. And then do it again to the first side. And it may change. You may be able to go further or not as far. Hard to tell. And back to center. And to the other side. And back to center. And again, that's your peripheral vision that you're using. So at this point, you're going to have your, again, peripheral vision. So looking ahead, bring your hands up as high as you can and still see them. This is your upper peripheral. If your hands are slightly in front of you, you'll be able to see it further. And again, looking straight ahead, bring your hands down to center. And then past center down below. Again, you're looking ahead, working on your peripheral vision. And come back to center. And shake out your hands. Now, just using one hand, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to follow it with your eyes this time. Your head is going to stay forward, but your eyes are going to move with your hand as far as they can. And then keep moving so you get your far movement and peripheral. On that side. And then come back to center. And then on the other side. Your eyes are following, but your head is forward. And then back to center. And then using both hands, going up. Your eyes follow. Your head stays forward, level, and back to center. And down. Your eyes follow, your head stays centered. And back to center. And wiggle your hands. And shake it all out. And shake out your cervical spine, your neck and your head, and your little shoulders. Yes. Oh, look at you. You shake good, girl.
Good try.
Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. So let's bring our hearts forward. And then bring your heart up. And your heart back. Your heart to one side. Your heart to the other side. And then take your rib cage and your heart and go around in a circle. And then around in a circle the other way. Very nice. And wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then we're going to our creation parts. And we're going to start by taking them in a circle. And a real circle, not like a ummy. This is a real circle. Ummies are kind of flat circles.
Right.
Don't go much in the front, but we're going to go in the front. But make sure you bend your knees so that you don't hurt your back. And then go back the other direction. And now we're going to do a figure 8 as if the 8 is drawn on the ground. So you bring one hip forward, the other one back. And your whole body can follow. This isn't hula, so your whole body can follow with it.
Oh, that's hard to do.
That's right, because you're trained to do the other. I could see you naturally isolating your upper and lower body. This is not hula, so. And then go the other direction. So you went, whichever way you started, go the way that's harder. Very nice. and wiggle. Ah, very nice. Now we're going to do core distal, which is about finding the oneness. So as we come to a small pose, and it can be small like this, or it could be small all the way down to the ground like this. It's about finding the oneness and the core in here. And then as you find that oneness and you invite, so this is where we invite the divine indwelling. We've scanned our bodies, we've sunk in, we're inviting the divine. And then when we found the divine, we come up and we spread it throughout our lives, our day, our moments, our dogs, our everything. And do that 3 times, just at your own speed. And as you are in the smallness, invite the divine indwelling. And as you come out into the world, know that you're bringing that divine with you, that core stays with you as you stretch out and change the world. And you can change direction if you want in your bigger pose, or actually either. If you want to face a different direction, your hands and feet can go in front of you, behind you. So this is, if you're feeling anxious and are easily startled, doing these first 4 things quickly, doing the breath, touch your body so that you feel and sink into your body, wiggle a little bit, and then small and large.
Yeah.
It will relieve that natural anxiety that we trap in our body. Because when we're startled as a baby, we know to do this, but as adults, we just stuff it. So in a minute, you can go through that process and really, I find that when I'm really bitchy and snarking at people, that if I take a minute and do that, I feel so much better. It's kind of like that thing I couldn't control in me is like tamed just a tad. And take a deep breath. And now we're about the upper lower body. So our upper body, the muscles connect all the way through. A waist is an arbitrary thing that we do for clothing, but it doesn't really exist in the body. Nothing stays there. So as you do the upper body, feel it all the way. So you can actually feel the upper body moving, but you can feel it as it stretches into your backside, and you might even feel it down your legs. But you're really working on the upper body here as you're reaching out and around and through. Oh, I love working with a dancer because you just move. Playing with a dancer, there's no work about this at all, unless work is a good thing. And we reach towards each other. I love you. I'm so happy to do this. And then we go into our lower body, which is, so this core is where our faith and our beliefs sit in our bodies, in the now here, and we come into this space here. This is all about beliefs and who we are and the deepest of emotions. And so when you're feeling, again, maybe not grounded, or maybe not, you're going into something that you want to be really strong, take a moment and put that belief physically, think of it physically in your body. You can do it when you're sitting down, any way, it'll help. Even just, you find yourself in a place and all of a sudden you're getting nervous and no one will believe me, stick it into your now. And moving around a little bit with your hips, and just move your lower body. Feeling how you're supported and loved. And what a wonderful job your body is doing for you. Okay, now sidedness. This is about decision making. So we do the right one side of our body, out to the side. Have a hand go forward and a leg go back, and then the other way around. But again, on the same side, you're really emphasizing the movement on one side. Obviously, you're supporting yourself with the other, and then one side goes out. Your leg goes one way, your arm goes the other.
Gotta think about that one.
Yeah. And then behind you. This is really hard for me. The behind one, for some reason, is the hardest one. So I do both behind me on one side, and then I bring the arm out, and then I bring the leg out and the arm in, because behind me, it's really hard for me to have it all behind.
Well, it's a combination of crossing the body, and it's crossing in a couple different ways.
Right, but it's only with one side doing it, so I don't know. For me, that's the brain fart. Always.
Yeah.
And then wiggle that. Just wiggle everything so nothing gets held up, and move to the other side. We start by they move together. And out to the side. And then one arm forward and the leg back. And the other way around. And if you get stiff as you go along, like this is my sore side, so I wiggle a bit more on this side when I do it because I can feel it more. And then we cross over, arm and foot together, over and out, front, over and out, back.
Yeah, this is way harder on my left side.
Yeah, it's way harder on this side for me too. And then over, and then bring the leg out so that they're crossed in a different way, and then that in the front, and then we move to the back. As I say, I start with them both over in the back, and then I bring the leg out, and then I bring it in. Because then I'm actually able to do it. All right, and then wiggle. Make sure you're wiggling the whole body, because your standing leg was getting a lot of work while the other leg was moving your brain, as well as your body, of course. But and then crossover is about hugs, hugging, all the way down. Hug all your parts, all the way as far down as you can comfortably go. Hugging. And then as you come back up, and switch to hugging around the backside. And you probably can't get quite as far down in the back unless you're just really limber, but and wiggle them. And then we're going to cross over our legs. Crossover, 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 crossover. Now we're going to turn in a circle while crossing over our legs. If you look out rather than down, you'll get less dizzy. Looking down will have a tendency to make you dizzy. Because it upsets the vestibular system in your ears and your eyes. And if you're looking out, you have the horizon to guide you. And then we're going to turn the other direction while crossing over. Your legs, cross over. So one of the things that happens as people get injured or become more frightened of falling is they start looking down all the time. And they actually trip more because they're only looking right in front of them. So if you can remember to always look out, at least 6 feet in front of you, 20 if you can do it, so that you're looking out, you'll still see everything that's going to come up in front of you. And you'll see it in plenty of time. Better than you would if you look straight down. But the other is it'll also help your vestibular system to keep you more balanced.
Good to know.
So again, especially because you're walking around in the snow and all of these uneven surfaces, you're going to have a tendency to do this.
Yeah.
And so you want to be really straight up over your feet as much as you can and looking out. Again, as much as it's comfortable, but the more you can do that, you know, you've got great peripheral lower vision. You just tested it. You know you can see down there. So, you know, just you're paying attention. And of course, being mindful when you do it is helpful. All right. So there we go. So now now I know you have vestibular, like turning is not your favorite. Is that right? Yes. So we just did a little turning and you were okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do a little turning without the crossing of the legs this time, which is a nice distraction for the brain to help it not realize you were turning. So it helps build the vestibular system. But this time when you go as slow as you need to minimize, you want to get dizzy, but just a little bit. You know, not a lot dizzy, just a little dizzy. But you're going to look at everything around you now, not just look out, but look and actually see the things as we go around. And then pause when you're back to a comfortable place and look at something until you could feel whatever dizziness that's happened go away. There may be very little, there may be a lot. But hold yourself as still as is comfortable, relaxing into the stillness. The healing happens in the stillness. This is where the healing of your vestibular system happens. Taking a deep breath. We're going to do that square breath again where you breathe in, you hold a bit, and then breathe out and hold a bit. And then the other direction. And as slow as is comfortable, but what you want to look at everything, see it all, keeping your head up. Try to keep your head up over your body, not forward and not back. Your chin kind of tucked a little bit. You have a tendency to have your chin up a little, so you might just tuck your chin just a bit. That'll help also with your vestibular. And then pause and let the healing happen. And breathe. And as you breathe, I'm going to recite for you the welcoming prayer. I let go of my desire for security, affection, and control, and embrace this moment as it is. And we breathe, we feel, and we sink into our bodies. We invite the divine indwelling and welcome all that is in our beings, welcoming the divine spark within us. And let go of my desire for security, affection, and control, and embrace this moment as it is. And wrap yourself around and pat yourself on the back. Look, you did it! Congrats! Congratulations. Oh, boy, I'm much warmer now.
Huh?
I'm much warmer now. What about you?
I'm warm.
You're warm.